What is up, my puffer people? It is I, Caden, your puffer pal, back with another video. And today I am bringing you guys episode 2 of Competitive Analysis. I enjoyed making the last episode. You guys seemed to have enjoyed the last episode. Got like 18 views, something like that, which is pretty good. I don't usually get that many views. I usually don't get a lot of views. I'm going to be honest. So super nice to see that many views. Make sure if you enjoy the video to share them because obviously the more views I get, can start making money, but also that's not my priority right now. Obviously, I want money from YouTube, but I just want because if I can get money though, the priority is getting money to get more like softwares or like a better mic because I really want to be able to make the highest of quality content for you guys. Like I'm starting to like since I've come back, I've been trying to make. I haven't been uploading like every day, but I've been trying to make it when I upload, it's something enjoyable, you know. So if I can get a I need what's it called? If the more subs I have, I could get a little money from it, and I could start investing in getting a better mic, getting a good editing software, getting just everything that will make it better. So if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing and getting your friends to subscribe as well. So this episode 2, this time we are actually looking at Lance's team. So you might be like, this isn't Lance's team. It is Lance's team from the Pokemon World Tournament in Black and White 2. Why am I looking at this? Because had I looked at his original team, it would have been the most boring video ever. I would have just been saying, okay, this is literally the worst team ever, and there's nothing redeeming about it. At least with this, there's still nothing redeeming. It's still not great, but there are a few redeeming qualities to it, at least, that I could kind of talk about. So let's get into our competitive analysis. So starting with synergy, this team doesn't have synergy. You do have U-turn, which is nice because it allows you to get into these different powerful Pokemon, but they all are kind of doing the same thing. They're all just hitting hard. He doesn't have a setup sweeper. He doesn't have maybe a bulkier attacker like maybe Roost, I like Assault Vest, Hydreigon, or Roost, Outrage, Salmon, something like that, to keep him healthy while also doing damage output. He doesn't have like Weather with Kingja, which would be something. At least he really doesn't have any he just has a bunch of Pokemon that come in and attack, which isn't terrible. But even like when you look at this, what is this set? You don't have any stab, and Ice Punch is hitting other dragon types, which Draco do. Flying types, which I guess is cool, but you don't really need it. And it's in grass types, which Fire Punch hits. The priority's cool, but I don't know. I just think I don't like that. Then this set is good, but I feel like you could be taking advantage of its move pool a little better because honestly, I feel like Stone Edge isn't the best move to run on S elements just because of its chance to mess, and it's just not that good, honestly. Kingdra, I like the Kingdra set. I do. It's actually a set people would run in competitive Sniper Scope lens. So it's not terrible. I like Flash Cannon. It gives it a way to hit fairies, even though it's not all that necessary. So the Kingdra set I actually like. Hydreigon, it's a good set. It's the White Herb. I don't know if I would run White Herb, maybe Specs or something, but it's not terrible. Scarf is good, and this is a terrible set. Like, no one's running Power Herb Solar Beam. What are you hoping to catch off guard? A Water type, I guess? But, it's not that. It's just like Flygon special attack stat isn't good enough to where you're going to one-shot that many water types, even with Solar Beam. Dude, I bet you freaking like even a Gastrodon was 4 times we could probably live it with the right investment. So yeah, I think the problem is after telling you all those sets, the common thread is none of these Pokemon are defensive whatsoever. They're all just attackers. Meaning, if you go up against a bulkier team, you are screwed. The bulkier, you won't be able to break, because here's the thing. With no bulk, a bulkier team will be able to just take your hits and then hit you back. And then, so they'll have the bulk to take on all your offenses, but also have offenses to take on your bulk. So then there's obviously the whole problem of typings. So typings is a big thing. Unfortunately, he is Mono Dragon, which really screws Lance over because it means he has 5 Pokemon weak to ice, and if of the Pokemon has freeze dry, all of this Pokemon are weak. He has all 6 are weak to dragon, and all 6 are weak to fairy. Meaning his team, typing wise, has no real synergy. They're not good together. This isn't a good team to put together. I get he's Mono Dragon. I get they're not gonna give him a legendary like Dialga to cover the weakness to dragon and fairy. And I guess there were no I guess there really were no dragons to cover it. But at the end of the day, it's still the team he's choosing to use. So he chose to run Mono Dragon, which is a big problem. Mono-type teams in competitive aren't going to usually work out. Usually, there is a Mono-type tier, which this would be fine. But usually when you're in competitive, you need a wide array of types because you don't want one Pokemon to just sweep your team. Looking at this, Clefable, Gardevoir, just so many Pokemon just completely decimate the team. And when we looked at Blue's team, he had varying types. I mean, no Pokemon could do that, which was super good. Whereas with this, sure, his Pokemon are strong, but if you find a fast Pokemon that is if you're going against a rival Salamence, what are you going to do except hope you win the speed tie? If you're going against even a rival Dragonite, you need to have the game plan of, okay, what do I do if I go against a Pokemon of this type? He only has one Pokemon that could even really handle a fairy type, and even then, if a lot of fairy types are fairly bulky, I know this is pre-fairy types, I know, but still, the problem is you still have to be, I feel like that you can't just cut them slack. Oh, it's pre-fairy type. No, I'm not cutting you the slack. Because fairy types now exist, and this is the team you chose to bring to competitive analysis, Lance. Okay, Mr. Lancey Lance, you have to deal with it. I will say he uses his abilities well. He has 2 levitators, meaning and 2 flying type, meaning ground types he's really good against, which is nice. Because Earthquake Spam's super threatening. He has the Sniper Kingdra, which is super cool. The problem is this. The fact that he has Rivalry and Swiftwing as a possible. Rivalry is bad. It's just not good. It increases, I think, your damage against Pokemon of the same gender, but decreases your damage against Pokemon of opposite gender. Meaning if he goes against a Pokemon of the opposite gender, he's doing less damage, which you don't want. Mold Breaker is just better in every scenario, which is not good if it's only a chance you have Mold Breaker. And then Swift Swim is usually good, but you don't have a way to set rain, so Swift Swim's actually useless to you. You have no reason to be running Swift Swim. And a big thing is his Pokemon all kind of struggle to break certain Pokemon. So if you look at this Kingdra cannot break bulky waters. It just can't. Dragon Pulse might be able to, but like a Milotic, just no. And how does he handle this? Well, not with his Dragonite, not with his Salamence, not with his Hydreigon, not with his Exodus, with a Power Herb Solar Beam. That's his best way of breaking bulky waters. A Power Herb Solar Beam. First of all, Solar Beam probably not going to one-shot on Milotic. And then it definitely won't. And then after that, you lose your Power Herb. And you just lose the game to a Milotic. Or how about this? Dragonite. If you look at this, it has no real good way of punching through fairy types. And his best way of punching through a fairy type? Flash Cannon Kingdra. Which is just not going to be doing enough damage. Then we look at Salamence. Salamence actually covers the typings pretty well. You know, it covers everything. But once again, it just struggles against fairy types. Same with Hydreigon. It doesn't have a really good way of breaking through fire types. Same with Haxorus. Same with Flygon. Offensively, this team is gonna hit hard, but there are certain Pokemon that will just completely wall this team, which is a real bad thing. You don't want your team to just get walled by one Pokemon. A Clefable probably just 6-0s this team. A Gardevoir probably just 6-0s this team. A Primarina probably just 6-0s this team, which is never a good thing. You do not want your team to get 6-0'd by a single Pokemon. And then the big thing is he has 2 Pokemon weak to Stealth Rocks. And then he has no way of getting rid of hazards. Meaning those 2 are taking 25% both times, which sucks. And the residual chip is just going to kill his team. Like, it's really going to kill his team. Like, 2 Pokemon weak to hazard is real. Rocks is really bad for the fact that he doesn't have Defog. And then, not only does he not have Defog, he doesn't have a way to recover their health. So they're going to get whittled down every time they come in. But the problem is, you don't even want to switch them in because they're offensive Pokemon, meaning they're going to come in, take Stealth Rock, and then die to a hit. Which is, I think, the big problem with his team. He doesn't have hazard removal. He doesn't have ways of recovering health. His team just feels incomplete. It feels like he's like, I'm going to run a super offensive team, but also still have a team that gets completely walled by certain Pokemon. Which is a big problem, Lance. He needs a defensive backbone. Every good competitive Pokemon team will have a defensive backbone. Think about it like this. If I had a team with... I'm going to go back to last gen. Kartana, Tapu Koko, Hawlucha's on my team, right? Sorry, I'm just throwing out Pokemon. I'm probably going to want to also throw on something defensive. So maybe you would have seen a Clefable, a Chansey, something to take those hits so that your Hawlucha, Kartana, and Tapu Koko don't have to take those hits because you want to keep your offensive Pokemon as healthy as possible so they could go in and maybe later when you're trying to sweep, they have to take a hit to either set up or kill a Pokemon. And because you have the defensive backbone, they're now able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's something Lance's team cannot do. His team will get whittled down so quick that, honestly, I just can't see him ever really winning a game. Like, the only way I could see him winning a game is if he's against a team with, like, no ice types, no fairy types, just, like, nothing good. I mean, and even, like, I think I would rather have Outrage on you, honestly, at this point, just to do more damage. Draco Meteor just feels out of place. Like, I would have had Flash Cannon on this. Like, it feels like his move choices were kind of weird. Like, even Superpower on this Pokemon isn't run that often. I would have had Poison Jab. Like, it seems like he wasn't thinking through the choices he made. He's like, okay, this is a cool Dragon type, put on my team. Whereas there were probably Dragon types that would have been better on his team, like an Altaria, which could be slightly bulky, or other good, like, Dragon types, because these are not the only good Dragon types. There are other good Dragon types, but there are good Dragon types that also are bulky. Garchomp could be run pretty physically defensive with Rough Skin Rocky Helmet. That would have been a great addition to the team. You also have a Pokemon like Let's see. I'm trying to look at Druddigon. Now, Druddigon on paper doesn't look incredible, but Druddigon actually would have been a perfect fit on the team because, again, it's pretty defensive, and it gets Glare, which is a great support move, and Rough Skin Ragiamon again to whittle down those scary offensive Pokemon. So, I think, do you get what I'm saying? How his team isn't bad, or even Roost on Salamence. With Intimidate, it could be a pretty bulky Pokemon. He just took the Pokemon and then used them poorly. You know what I'm saying? Like, the teams itself isn't, could be used at least. But it's just he has too many mistakes. Between the typings, the movesets, some abilities just being whack, and just no good defensive or even really offensive synergy, I got to give this team a 0.4 out of 10. I'm being honest. I don't see it being very usable, realistically. I really don't see how you could win a battle with this team. I'm going to be honest. But I did try to at least fix the team slightly. So we start with Dragonite. This is a really fun set that I feel like definitely catches people off guard. Weakness Policy, Multiscale. Multiscale is the better ability. I don't know why he ran it in Inner Focus. Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, Extreme Speed. Why is this such a good set? Because you already have a 134 base attack. You click Dragon Dance, boost your attack to +1 and speed to +1, which you'll probably outspeed most Pokemon if you don't Extreme Speed. You, with your Multiscale, will guaranteed live the hit that's super effective. Pop your Weakness Policy, and at this point, you're +3 attack. There are not many Pokemon that want to take a hit like that. I'm going to be honest, I cannot really name many Pokemon that want to take that hit. That want to take a hit after 3 Adamant Dragonite. So already you have offensive pressure, but it's not just, I'm going to switch in and claim moves, because then they could predict. You set up and then you become an insane threat. Next, Salamence. So this actually fizzed off Salamence. I ran Heavy Duty Boots because, as I said, you don't want your team just getting whittled down by hazards with Intimidati. And then we ran Max Fizdef, Max HP with Defog, Roost, Earthquake, Dragon Claw. Defog is great for getting rid of hazards, which Stealth Rocks is super annoying for this team. Roost is there for reliable recovery, then Earthquake plus Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw is just a nice, strong stab. Having a strong stab on your team is, I feel like, incredibly nice. On your Pokemon is incredibly nice because it's a reliable hit. You could just bam, 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 bam. No, you know what I'm saying? It's I feel like it's a reliable attack. If you don't have stab, it's not the end of the world. Lance, I think, had stab on all his Pokemon, at least a stab. Yeah, which is, I think, always the best idea. You always want to try to fit in a stab just to hit hard neutral hits. You know what I'm saying? And then Earthquake is there for those pesky steel type. So I decided to go full Critra with Focus Energy, Surf, Hurricane, and Draco Meteor. So this allows you to break through bulky grass types. Now, I know what you're saying, but Ken, you said bulky waters. Still doesn't look like you could really break through them. After Focus Energy, we have Draco, not Dragon Pulse. And it's, I think, guaranteed crit or almost guaranteed with Skill Bloods. Very few bulky waters want to take a crit. Sniper Draco. Don't get me wrong. There are Pokemon that can, but even a Pokemon is bulky as Milotic isn't going to appreciate it as much. So it's definitely a good choice, I would say, to run. Even though, sure, it still can't easily break through bulky waters, I feel like Kingdra never really can because it doesn't have a great, but at least this makes it way easier. You're definitely going to be doing way more than if you had what's it called? You're going to be doing way more than if you had Dragon Pulse. Like, bro, what? Like, here's a calc real quick. So max HP, max speed F plus speed F nature. Milotic is taking 66.4 to 78.6% from a crit Draco Meteor. Let's check Toxapex. Toxapex, especially defensive. This is another thing that's important. Always calc your team, because I'm also always part of this competitive analysis is analyzing and showing you kind of how you can take a bad team and make it good. And one of the things you want to do when even ever building a team is you want to calc. You want to know the matchups. Not every matchup, but like I want to know, okay, can I beat a Toxapex with my Kingdra? And I see 78.9% to 93% a Draco Meteor with a crit dose. So after I click Focus Energy, I am going to town on most Pokemon. And Hurricane allows you to break through basically any bulky grass type. There are very few bulky, I'm going to be honest, there are very few bulky grass types that could take that crit Hurricane. Maybe a few, but not a lot. Meaning that you could easily handle the weaknesses that I feel like Steven's team just couldn't handle. Because Ice Beam is, 20% less. He had a way less of a chance to get crits, and he had Dragon Pulse instead of Draco, you know? Now, I wanted a special defensive Pokemon, so I decided Assault Vest Hydreigon was the best way. I don't know why I have Roost. Was the best way to go. So the lack of recovery kind of sucks, but with an Assault Vest, you could at least take those special hits kind of well, and a little bit of Spatak just to hit hard. I gave it Flash Cannon just so it could hit fairies, because honestly, so far the team was kind of weak to fairies, even though Critdra could handle it decently well. This set is kind of basic, but you know you can hit the steel types with Fire Blast. It kind of covers the weaknesses fairly well. So as you can see, I already have more synergy because I have a little defensive backbone. So at least if I go against a Pokemon, I'm not going to immediately get 6-0'd by it. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I immediately had to, like, when I was trying to improve the team. That was the first thing I looked at. I was like, okay, the first thing I looked at was, okay, I need defensive Pokemon, and these two just made the most sense. Haxorus, I just went full offensive on Haxorus because I was like, okay, I just need to, if I want to win, the problem with Lance's team is he has offensive Pokemon, but not enough offensive prowess. I feel like with Life Orb Swords Dance, you can break through even the bulkiest of Pokemon. Poison Jab for the Fairies, Earthquake for the Steel types, and Dragon Claw for pretty much everything else. This set just rips holes in teams, realistically. And then I decided to run Banded Flygon. Banded Flygon gives a lot of offensive pressure because there are very few switch-ins to an Earthquake, barring Banded Earthquake, barring Flying types. But Flying types, you can U-turn out if a Flying type's coming in and go into maybe your Kingdra or Dragonite or Haxorus to set up, you know? You can use and U-turn is very good because it gives you momentum. So that's one thing I didn't talk about with the Lance, but I'll talk about momentum real quick. Momentum is so good. So U-turn, Parting Shot, Flip Turn, Volt Switch. Why are they so good? Because you get the momentum. So, okay, maybe, my opponent switched into their no, they wouldn't go to their Clefable on my Flygon. Oh, I'm going to go into Dragonite so I could get the weakness policy plus Dragon Dance and then kill them with an Earthquake. Oh, they switched into, I don't know. They switched into their Amoonguss. Oh, I'm going to go Kingdra, Focus Energy, then just start Hurricaning, Surfing, Dragoing, killing everything. You know, so the momentum allows you to take what your opponent does, or if you outspeed, at least predict what they're going to do. But say you don't have speed, you can take whatever they did and formulate what you go into based on what they did, and it always allows you to kind of be one step ahead of them. So I think that's kind of it. That's kind of my improved team of Lances. It's hard to work with this team because at the end of the day, it's not a good team. But I think I made a decent enough team. I definitely think this team could get wins. If you absolutely had to use it, I think I could use this team and get wins, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Competitive Analysis where we looked at Lance's team. Next week, we'll be looking at Steven, I believe. Steven's a cool champion. I love Steven. His team ain't bad, but we'll talk about that next time. I hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, my puffer people, stay puffed.